Hello YouTube, my name is Pastor Wolfus and I have some very sad news to share with you guys. Victory Studios has cancelled the new Command & Conquer game effective immediately. Now, you don't even need to really read the bulletin in front of you guys on your computer screens to really know why it was cancelled. The negative press was way too much. It was way too much. People hated the graphic style, people hated the esports nature, people hated the microtransaction nature of the game. People just hated the game on every single possible level. And to that end, I say shame on you. I say shame on you. I say shame on you to the people who harp on this game way too much than the game deserves. This is just like what happened with the new Planetary Annihilation game that's going to soon come out, and before when it came out on Steam for alpha and for beta. People harped on the game for not being polished up, for not being graphically, superior to other titles, to having less content than promised, all the while being in alpha and beta. Let me say this again. Being in alpha and beta. Planetary Annihilation received massive negative press just because it was in alpha and beta. And now the same is said for Command & Conquer. The game, although being in alpha for such a ridiculous amount of time, as well as in beta, was getting such bad negative press that because of this, the studio shut down the entire game. Now, whether this is true or not remains to be seen. Now, maybe it's a little bit stupid to assume that a studio would shut down an entire, month's work of game development or a year's work of game development because of some negative press. But at the same time, what I'd like to stress is you shouldn't negatively critique a game when it's in beta or alpha. It's just useless and stupid. All you can do is suggest for things to be changed and to suggest that things should be added, but not harp on the game altogether. You can harp on Rome Total War. Total War Rome 2 is full of ludicrous bugs and glitches, and is a complete step back from the Total War formula. You can harp on that because it's a finished game. You can't harp on something like Command & Conquer, and you can't harp on something like Planetary Annihilation. And strategy gamers don't get a lot of new strategy games, especially RTS. There aren't a lot of real-time strategy games coming out for us. Fine, Rome 2. Fine, Planetary Annihilation. And then the Command & Conquer was supposed to come out, but then it's gone. And now we have Zero AD, which is a free source game, but no AAA games. We still have StarCraft 2, yes, and albeit StarCraft 2 is okay, it's alright, but we need something new. We need something refreshing. We can't play the same game for about, how long has StarCraft 2 been out for? 2 years or so? 3 years? I'm not sure. I haven't played that game in a while. We need new games, new titles to come out. And if all we do is negatively harp on a game that's coming out, that's currently in alpha or beta, then all we're going to get is just, expansion packs for StarCraft 2, and no one will be able or willing to make an RTS game. But you know what, at the end of the day, I think the real reason why a lot of people hated this game also was probably because it was free to play. Now, the notion of a pay-to-win Command & Conquer or a pay-to-win strategy game in general is terrifying to me. It is terrifying. It's evil to have something so OP to be bought instead of earned is crazy to me. It is mind-blowing. It destroys the entire notion of fairness in a strategy game. But the thing is that what I'm asking is maybe we should have waited to see how these, different purchasing models would play out when the final game would be released. Like, can we actually buy this general? Can we buy this unit? Can we do this? Can we do that? Maybe they'll change it up. Maybe they'll change it so that it's only cosmetic. So you can buy, a dildo army instead of, actual units that could destroy your entire base. Stuff like that. Maybe some quirky stuff like, we could change all of the soldiers to bears or units on your screen. So little bears can fire AK-47s and stuff like that in the APA army, while the GLA are giant bears that fire other machine guns and stuff like that. It could have been killer and sweet. And then the other player who didn't bought, the bear skin pack would only see, regular units. They're actual units instead of bears. It could have been like that. It could have been a bunch of other stuff. They could have changed it up. We could have told them, hey, why don't you just sell us cosmetics? Sell us, cheese tanks. Sell us bear soldiers. Sell us all this other cool shit. You know, I would love to see cheese tanks. I would love to see ice cream cones made out of vaginas firing at our tanks. I would love to see that shit. And now I won't. Which is also sad. You know, we should have given the free-to-play model of Command & Conquer maybe a little bit of a chance. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we should have. Maybe it would have worked. Maybe it would have been the best thing ever. I mean, come on, a cheese tank. Let's be real here. So that's what I kind of feel like in this whole situation. Now, if you did buy the alpha, you will have your money refunded for the next 10 games. I mean, not 10 games, but 10 days. And you can contact the help.ea.com website in order to get your monies back. Now, they said that they will try a new approach and a new tactic in order to bring Command & Conquer back onto the computer scene and to bring it back into the strategy gaming scene. But in what way, I'm not sure. Are they going to take the microtransaction route of this currently canceled game, or are they going to do something completely different, like how they did with Red Alert 3, or what they did with, other previous games? Will they, instead of making a free-to-play game, go for the $60 title, or maybe they'll instead put it up on iOS and make it a free-to-play game there? Or maybe they'll make 2 games. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the franchise, but all in all, I'm very disappointed. And I am very sad. I've been wanting to play this game. I've been waiting for the alpha for so long. Over 800,000 people have signed up for this alpha. And those 800,000 people are never going to play the game. Even though they might have been waiting for a year or 2 years to actually play the game. That is so disappointing. And this is so sad. Maybe if this game were able to, get finished fully, it would have been the best Command & Conquer game ever. But I guess we'll never know. Until then, my name is Master Wolfus, and feel free to subscribe, like my channel. I don't know. I'm going to go cry in the corner now. Bye-bye.